Hi, I'm Selassie and welcome to the Cartels video raid guide. Starting off with Baradin hold. The first boss in Baradin hold is Argolarth. I've attached footage of our first kill. I've done this for a reason. This is a great fight for any new guilds or any new people to raid in to start out with to get an idea of the changes in Cataclysm. Okay, so Argolarth's basic abilities. Argolarth will do an ability called Meteor Strike, which will hit random raid members in a cone in front of him for a lot of damage. Now the way to deal with this debuff is by stacking your raid into two groups. For 10 man, how I did this is I chose 2 tanks, 2 healers and 6 DPS, and essentially split it into 2 groups of 1 tank, 1 healer and 3 DPS, and we spread them out east and west of the boss in the 2 camps, as you can see in the video. This is just to deal with Meteor Strike. The way that we deal with Meteor Strike, because it will give out a lot of damage, is we'll let it hit one group and then the tanks will taunt off and we'll let it hit another group, and that will give the healers time to top everyone off and essentially deal with the amount of damage that Argolarth has given out. Once you set up this basic mechanics, dealing with his damage that comes out is quite easy. Also, amongst all this, he's going to be doing a pretty nasty damage over time spell, so we need to have mass dispel in the group here. It needs to be dispelled off, else it's going to consume the raid, essentially. Now, really, his biggest trick, apart from those abilities that I've already mentioned, is his enraged timer. He's a boss designed for people new to Cataclysm. Most of us were doing this in blues that we'd got out of heroics, so the 5-minute enrage timer with the amount of health he's got is quite tight to me, and it really was tight for us because this was essentially, like I say, our first raid. So I've attached this footage so you can see exactly how close it was. Like I say, it's a great start-up fight. His next major ability is at 66% and 33%. At both of those percentages, he will stop this general mechanic and cast an ability called Fell Firestorm, as you can see now. This is the one time that your group doesn't want to stay stacked. This is the time when everyone needs to spread out and make sure that they don't box themselves in the fire that he creates on the floor. You don't want to go too far away from your original spot, but you definitely don't want to be standing in fire, as that's definitely bad. As soon as Fell Firestorm's over, restack with your group so we can cope with the Meteor Strike mechanic again. And then it's a rinse and repeat phase. It really is. Phase 1 will repeat now in phase 2 in between the Fell Firestorm. At 33% he'll cast Fell Firestorm again, and you want to be doing exactly the same. Proper management of your healer's mana, proper management of the raid, and good communication on vent will be the key factors to you guys getting this fight down. Like I say, if you've got 2 good healers and 2 decent tanks, the tanks need to communicate on vent so they can keep the taunt rotation correct. Each time he casts Meteor Strike, you need to be taunting off, so one group's not taking 2 casts of Meteor Strike at any one point. Healers keep topping off, dispel. We're essentially getting ready for the next phase of Fell Firestorm at this point. The boss is approaching, well, he's around about 45% still, so we've got a little way to go. As you can see, we're just dealing with the mechanic. Taunting off, saw one tank taunt off there to the other. I think that was the Paladin taunting off the Druid. You can see how new this is. Our guild's just reached Guild 7, so it was essentially the first week of Cataclysm. So really tight encounter at that time. We've done it a lot since, and it's very polished now, and it's an easy one shot, but I definitely chose not to include a polished video here because I want new guilds to see exactly what the fight's like with the enraged timer. So the second Fell Firestorm here, just keeping spread out. As you can see, I'm taking a bath in fire there because I'm a bit of a noob, but that's that. Fell Firestorm finishes, gets stacked back on the tank as quickly as possible so we can deal with Meteor Strike again. And now essentially this is just a race against time. Smart healers, conservation of mana, blowing all DPS cooldowns at this point. I've turned the vent off for this encounter, but at this point I'd be asking for everyone to blow their 3-minute cooldowns. You can see the boss is at 20% because we're in kill shot range. I think it was really tight on the timer here. Just keep DPSing, just keep your tanks taunting, don't lose any concentration at this point as it's easy to tunnel. Reminds me a lot of Brutalis from Burning Crusade. we're in the final straight here. We're just blowing everything. I think I actually died just before we get this boss down. I think the enrage timer pops a little bit before we kill him. I think we just cruised it through. Here we go. One dead hunter. Okay, well, thanks for watching.